Upstairs is the bosses and that, which I've never been up there. Our loos, disabled loo and changeman. Now this is where it all happens. This is our allocation hall. So, health and safety information, Hall of Fame, those that have won prizes. My photo is up there, just there, right? I've got 4 of those so far, and I've only been here since September last year. The grade book just behind you. Come in here, guys, because otherwise you won't see it. The grade book there is our Bible, which tells us what routes we have to take if the bus is running light from here to, say, Jerningham Road, which is where the 343 starts, or Aldgate or Dulwich, depending on which it is. You look there and it will tell you where it is. Right, health and safety again, union information and Transport Friendly Society. Keeping up with the news. Normally, by the time the night comes, it's onto the soaps and things like that, depending on what they want to watch. Notice board about what's going on. So we're not allowed to be parking in here very soon, our own car, so there's a notice about that. Come this way. The most important things, refreshments, cost us a fortune because we haven't got a canteen in this one. Other garages do. Right, this is our signing on machine. Every driver here has a 4-number unique, a unique 4-digit number even. That's it, I've got it out at the end. So we put our number in, press enter, then up here would come the duty number. Now I'm doing 116 on Monday, so 116 would come up there. Sign on, 0718. Alright. This gentleman's just signing on, so he signed on. His duty number's 4724. That applies to this duty card here, which tells him where he's going and what he's doing. Thank you, darling. But he's signed on 12:45, takes his bus out, starts on his bus at 12:55. Board number 311. Now we have yellow numbers in the front of our buses. That is the board number, our running number. Place he starts was Walworth. I didn't see what time he ended because it went off really quickly. This is a log card. Now the information on that is virtually what was on there. The day, date, duty number, driver unique number, because although we've done it on computer, we have to have a hard copy as well. So if there's any queries or whatever, we've got it. We have to check our bus, put the fleet number down. Those are the 4 white numbers you see on our buses. That's our fleet number. The time, and sign it to say that I've checked everything on the bus to say it's okay and safe to take out. Okay? This is Paul, our allocation manager. In front of him, he's got a list of every driver that's going to be signing on in the next half an hour. So it could be 4-minute gaps.
130 duties out of this garage each day.
That's 330 drivers.
And there's 2 of us that work a 12-hour shift. So we work 12 hours, and then the other person takes over for 12 hours. We work 4 days on, 4 days off. When we give them a module and a duty card, so I just want to explain something. There's a reason why I want to explain something.
Come in, because he's not very loud.
I can be, trust me.
I know you can be, but...
Alright. Has anybody ever been on a bus when the driver said to them, and hopefully they've said to them in a nice way, look, sorry, we've got to stop this bus here.
This bus terminates.
You've got to get off the bus and wait for the next bus. Has everybody had that experience? Yes. Does everybody know why you ever have that experience?
Yeah.
You know?
Because they're changing drivers. And they have to take their breaks.
Yeah, well, the second part of that is definitely right. Definitely right. Yeah, sometimes you change your drivers. But what these modules do is not only it tells us when you're signing on and when you're signing off, this is also like a tachograph for lorries. So it tells us exactly how long you've been driving, where you've been driving, what routes you've been doing, etc, etc. Now the thing is, a driver will pick up a duty card. Now this one in particular, when he picks it up, this is for route 188. So he'll start at Elephant Castle, he'll go up to North Greenwich, come back from North Greenwich up to the depot here, then take another bus out, etc, etc. The point I'm trying to make is if there's been an accident on the road earlier on in that day which has caused a backup of traffic all the way along, this driver then still needs to by law take his break. So he'll get so far and he cannot travel further before unless he turns that bus around and gets to a braking point, unless he's going to break the law. And that's 99% of the times whenever they say, I'm sorry, we're going to have to stop the bus here and turn the bus around, it's because the driver, if he continues, will end up breaking the law by the amount of time that he's been driving. That's the biggest reason for it. So if it ever happens to you again, and I've got to regretfully say it probably will, that's the biggest reason why a person will say to you, I'm sorry, we've got to turn this bus around, we'll give you a transfer ticket should you need it in order to get the next bus on to your destination. But you are allowed to get a transfer ticket.
Driving. Yeah. The big red book, right? And in this big red book is a list of every bus that runs in London. It tells us every company that runs that bus route. Then every destination virtually. The one it hasn't got in there is Stoke Newington, because I was at London Bridge, a woman asked me how do I get to Stoke Newington, it's not in there. I've since discovered it's the 149, but you know, that is our Bible technically. We have to have that with us as well. Okay? When you haven't got your bus passes on you up to the 11th of July, right? This is Battersea, Beddington, Byfleet, Hayes, Twickenham and Walworth. And as you can see, we came bottom of the pile. But that's because our target was to have 7 drivers coming in late on that whole week. We had 8, so 1 driver let us down. Right? One-to-one reviews. That's where we go in, have a word with John, the manager, see if everything's all right, how we're doing ourselves. Because of this, he was meant to do 10, he didn't do any. So that's a minus straight away. We were up on our miles per gallon. So when we turn the buses off, the buses automatically turn off after a certain time. But if you turn it off by that, you're going to save certain amount of diesel. So we got under our target. Our target was 5.6, we made 5.5. Yeah, environmentally friendly as well. Customer complaints. Twickenham was the best, Byfleet was the worst. But we drew even 18, so that's why it's in red and not green. Right, deductible miles. When Paul was telling you about turning the buses, right? I go over London Bridge, so there's a turning point at Monument. So if the traffic's bad up that bit, they might say, okay, turn at Monument. So I lose Monument to Aldgate, and then Aldgate to Monument. And we have to record that, and that is what deductible miles are. So although our target was 92, we actually lost 119.16 miles. See, everything we keep record of. Accidents, our target was 6, we had 12, so that's not good. Right, Genius Key. When it records our speed and things, and speed, braking, all that lot, any mistake it registers. So for the whole depot, our target was 90%, we hit 68. So that's over 350 odd drivers a day, you know? And the buses sometimes, you'll know as a bus driver, not every bus works the same. You've got the ones with the curved windows, right, they're called Alexander Dennis's. Now, 9006, one of ours, she drives lovely, she brakes beautifully. 194 something or other, I can't remember what it is. You only have to tap the brake, and she's like that. And that it registers on the Genius key. And that's how we lose percentages there, right? Okay, so that's basically it. A list of all the duties. You know, I said about doing duty 116. Weekdays, Saturdays. That's the sort of like the drive-through point. So this is how the buses are parked. So I would come out here on Monday morning and I will look in there where 349 is written. Yeah? And that is how we find our buses. So you go out there, you'll imagine you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buses parked in a row, and then you've got them 5, 6, 7, 8 on the very first row. Then you've got those 8 behind there, and then it's, you know, it's bedlam out here because they're all parked out here. They're double parked there on this side, single parked on the other, and you've got enough room just to get a bus out of the garage to get out first thing in the morning. One of those on the 381. The first bus is due out here at 5:15 in the morning, but the last bus from the night duty comes in at 10 to 6 in the morning. So this is how it's parked on Christmas Day. Yeah, the Christmas Day is the only day that the garages are shut. That's how it would be parked. But no, them ones aren't. Forest buses to drive for them.
Yes, please come in here to the middle. Last generation of Alexander Dennis hybrids. They are Euro 5 engines with fully electric motor drive for vehicle. They are quite clean for London. They all
get parked over there. Okay? Out of that 161 vehicles, after the road to 40 vehicles.